Have you ever caught yourself missing someone who hurt you? Not just a little. I mean, really missing them. At 2 a.m., scrolling through old photos, replaying conversations you promised yourself you were done with, and then thinking, why do I still care after everything they did? Yeah, that. So today, let's talk about something most people feel but rarely admit: why we miss people who hurt us. Here's the confusing part. Logically, you know they weren't good for you. They ignored you, they disappointed you, they made you feel small, anxious, or unimportant, but emotionally, your heart still goes, I miss them. So what's going on in our brains? First truth, your brain doesn't miss the pain, it misses the pattern. When someone is part of your daily life, they become a habit. Good morning texts, late night talks, inside jokes, even arguments. Your brain gets used to their presence like it gets used to coffee every morning. So when they're suddenly gone, your brain doesn't just feel sad, it feels withdrawal, not because they were perfect, but because they were familiar. You don't just miss the person, you miss the routine of having them. Second truth, we remember the good moments louder than the bad ones. Have you noticed how, after a breakup or falling out, your mind suddenly becomes a highlight reel? You remember the way they laughed, that one deep conversation at midnight, the one time they showed up when you really needed them, and somehow, your brain quietly deletes the disrespect, the stress, the nights you cried because of them. It's like your brain says, let's keep the memories that hurt the least. So you don't miss who they were, you miss who they were sometimes. Let's add a little humor here. Missing someone who hurt you is like missing a restaurant that gave you food poisoning. Just because one dish was really good, you're like, I know I almost died last time, but that one meal was amazing. Third truth, we confuse emotional intensity with love. When someone hurts you, your emotions go up and down: hope, disappointment, excitement, anxiety. That emotional roller coaster creates intensity, and your brain goes, wow, this feels deep. But deep doesn't always mean healthy. Sometimes what you're missing isn't love, it's the emotional rush. Calm feels boring when you're used to chaos. Peace feels empty when you're used to drama. So when someone stable comes along, you think, why don't I feel that spark? But when the person who hurt you crosses your mind, your heart suddenly feels everything again, and your brain mistakes that intensity for connection. Fourth truth, you don't miss them, you miss who you were with them. Think about it. Maybe with them, you felt wanted, chosen, needed, seen, at least in the beginning. So when they leave, it's not just losing a person, it's losing a version of yourself. You miss how you felt when they texted first, when they said your name in that certain way, when you believed this might actually work. You're not grieving them, you're grieving the hope you had. And then there's this one. Closure rarely comes from the person who hurt you. So your mind keeps going back, trying to understand, why wasn't I enough? What did I do wrong? Why did they change? But most of the time, there is no clean answer, and that unfinished story keeps pulling you back emotionally. Not because you want the pain again, but because your brain hates open endings. So how do you stop missing someone who hurt you? Not by forcing yourself to just move on. Not by pretending you never cared. You start by being honest with yourself. Ask, do I miss them, or do I miss the feeling they gave me sometimes? Do I want them back, or do I just hate feeling alone? And most importantly, did they bring me peace or just strong emotions? Because there's a difference. Love that's real doesn't leave you constantly doubting your worth. Connection that's healthy doesn't require you to shrink, beg, or overthink every word. Here's something powerful to remember. You can miss someone and still accept that they were not good for you. Missing them doesn't mean you should go back. It just means you're human. Healing doesn't erase memories. It simply teaches you which ones no longer deserve control over your heart. So if you're missing someone who hurt you right now, don't shame yourself. Don't rush your feelings. Just remind yourself of this. You're not missing the pain. You're missing the familiarity, the hope, the version of you that believed it could be different. And one day, you won't miss what hurt you anymore. You'll miss what feels safe, what feels steady, what feels kind. And that kind of love, that's the kind that doesn't leave scars. That's the kind worth waiting for.